So the former owner of Chelsea Football Club, Roman Abramovich, who is now on the sanctions list, has been keeping his mega yacht, one of his mega yachts, Eclipse, in Turkey. Actually, he's been keeping both of them there, but one of them in particular that we're talking about, motor yacht Eclipse, is a massive 162 metre, 535 foot super yacht built by Blohm & Voss in 2010. Now, the yacht has been laid up in Turkey since the invasion of Ukraine. In actual fact, the vessel was in the Caribbean when Abramovich was placed on the sanctions list. The vessel left the Caribbean, headed across the Atlantic through the Mediterranean, hugging the coastline of North Africa to avoid any waters that where the vessel could get arrested. It went straight through and it headed to Turkey. It's been there ever since. Arrived at I think the marina is called Albatross Marina in Marmaris in 2022. There was you might remember there was a small vessel, like a rib, with Ukrainians in waving flags protesting the vessel arriving at that marina.
Russian oligarch! Go away, Russian ship! Go away! No war in Ukraine!
The vessel's been there ever since, pretty much, and with occasional trips down to Gojek, which is also in Turkey. According to a website called turkeytoday.com, they are suggesting that the vessel is heading to Istanbul to go to a shipyard for urgent maintenance. Now, the vessel is definitely heading in that direction. We've been tracking the vessel for the last couple of days on AIS over the weekend. The yacht's destination on AIS is it just says awaiting orders, suggesting the vessel's just sort of hanging around waiting, but it's not. It's heading in a very specific direction. It's also hugging the Turkish coastline, as you can see in the AIS footage here, making sure they don't stray over into Greek waters where the vessel could be again arrested. And like I said, it looks like it's heading to Istanbul. Now, the vessel is probably overdue maintenance, and they've probably held off because the yacht normally goes to the Mediterranean, to shipyards, Germany, Blohm & Voss shipyard, which is now owned by Lursen, or it goes to La Ciotat sometimes in France. It's also been seen in Barcelona, various different places over the years, and they were probably hoping that they could eventually go back there, but now probably need urgent maintenance and they're heading to Turkey instead. Actually, we mentioned in the previous video, episode 480, that the yacht has changed flags. Abramovich he's got a fleet of yachts, and they were all always on the Bermuda flag. But in 2022, two of his yachts, which were laid up in Antigua, which we covered at the time, actually, we tracked the whole trip. They were in Antigua, Halo, and a support vessel called Garçon. They changed flag stage to the Cook Islands, and then they headed across the Atlantic through the Med to Turkey following Eclipse. Well, Eclipse has now changed flags. Well, not just now, but episode 480, we're on, what are we on now? 509. So, but the vessel has changed flags to the Cook Islands, so we can expect to see the other vessels following suit. Now, one of the interesting things that we've been reliably told is from someone who wishes to remain anonymous, which you'll understand why in a second, is that there is, on board that vessel, there is a hidden guard room, a hidden room with weapons. There's no code to enter. There's no door as such with a handle on the outside or a code to get in. It's always manned by two people who are opening the door from the inside only. And the room has a large selection of weapons. Now, I'm sure that would not be popular with most of the authorities if that is not being declared when the vessel goes into those various ports. I mean, before the war, it spent most of its time in the south of France. So I'm pretty sure they would not be very happy if they found out there was a big weapons cache on board that yacht. Anyway, some of the stats of Eclipse: 164 meters, or 538 foot. 36 guests in 18 cabins. That's the maximum for the large yacht code Part 2 or Part B, which is 36 is the maximum. Anything over that would have to be registered as a passenger vessel. 70 crew on board. And like I said, built in Germany by Blohm + Voss in 2010. Anyway, we'll keep you updated on where the vessel ends up. Hi, thanks very much for watching this video. If you want to see the full news videos, click on the link over here. And if you'd like to find the channels, you can find the links below here. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.